woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph. In her, no response.
Right to work!
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer. There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinet's standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word?
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette.
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? My name...
That's...
No, of course not. I can tell...
What were you...
Oh.
Wait, is someone...
No, not you.
And when...
Last week?
He's an actor.
You didn't answer...
It was my son.
He doesn't...
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Time to bring out your secret.
There must be another way into the
What's
building.
that noise down there? It's been a week and now they show up?
You see a young man on a...
Not looking for any trouble, officer. There's no trouble. I don't want to be...
Don't let him go.
Is it
Like a nerve
all right, but make it quick. Once I finish my...
that...
No, of course not. I can tell...
What?
Oh,
Wait, is someone else
no, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when?
Last week,
a down?
You didn't answer the question. What?
it was my...
He doesn't reply.
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to...
Time to... You see...
Not looking for... There's no... I don't...
Don't let him...
Is it...
Like a...
All right, my name? No. My name? No, of course...
What were you?
Oh,
Wait,
no, no.
And when did
Last week,
he's an...
you did?
it was my Sunday.
He doesn't...
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need...
You see...
Not looking for any trouble, officer. Sorry, I don't...
Don't let him...
Is it...
Like a nerve
All right, but make it quick. My...
that...
No, of course not.
What were?
Wait,
No, not you.
And when?
Last week,
he's an act...
You didn't.
it was my Sunday.
He does...
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to...
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes, compassion, and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
A stone. There's a key beneath it.
This must be for the front door. We'll just have to go in and see.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying.
What's he in trouble for?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there.
Thank you. We should...
Ask away, policeman. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of...
I'm no one. If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door. She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen. It's clean and empty. She had an eye for beauty. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place But a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment, is red from the cold. What happened here? Put your emotions aside. Try to focus on abstract, impersonal things. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed. You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stops abruptly. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go.
It's generally easier to do things if you... This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the boards. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk... What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective. Perhaps you should give it another go.
What are you doing? You're trying to...
I believe it's the shackle you mean to... Perhaps you should give it another go.
This door has been... It's a solid lump of metal, but...
You seem committed to it, so go on.
The shackle snaps like a...
After you, Detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads, Krasmazov Nomdegir was an economist and a theoretical historian. He was a leading figure in the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution. where he headed the 9-day government.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have...
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my... Go ahead.
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Yes. What's he and Tom?
What?
He lives...
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment.
Give me a... Ask the odd... Oh, I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked the symbol of what and how? Ah, all I know.
She mumbles some... A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. A former arc is red from faint pencil light. It's clean. She had an eye for... This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one, huh?
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right?
Don't worry. It's mostly all still here.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky find. Remember, tomorrow.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil. Red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock. You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo. Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Hello again, officers. Have you... Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it. By the way, the raw materials were most likely exported from Seaguy, the apricot suzerainty, and processed in Sur-le-Clay into the apricot-flavored chewing gum loved by kids of today.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet, or some ancient temple. Yes, from the height of antiquity. A long, long time ago. Millennia ago. The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich. There is a movement next to you, the shuffle of a small coat, warm like the evening. But when you turn toward it, why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Bitter, citrus, sweet, whatever petrochemical byproducts they used to create this artificial flavor have bonded tightly to the wrapper. Or is that just your memory until a blossom of skin and flower? This coin-operated viewer is facing south. It has given up all its secrets.
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick. They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Evrard's class doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. That's odd. I could swear you were a police officer.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the... The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of your finger moves. Finally.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. A A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow! A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow! A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you? What is this place? We don't have to explore an abandoned gym, you know? Besides, no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tuorg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin. Green Welkin, Dread Welkin.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Just look at those details. So much effort.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our... A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid. It looks a bit like an academic calendar. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region."
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral Untethered," and "Heat Death of the Universe." The full text reads, "Heat Death of the Universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. This is the Ream Civic radio computer.
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. It's empty like a beehive without its brood.
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas. There's no way a little basement studio working here could put...
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master Frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident. Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords ever work.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can thank you?
Tiles on the cube are... The filament slides out of its glowing nest. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. A gust of freezing cold air rushes. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks... The paper still smells of...
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The note is written with a blue pencil.
Does it say anything interesting?
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully Soif.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right?
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the Ice Bear fridge.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. The echo is so prominent.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands...
Looks like it. No one has used it in ages.
Bent metal, broken glass. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and...
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say.
He likes this find.
Seems like an old bunker.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice... No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. If you want to try again, then you need...
Equip the pry bar by...
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer. This orange machine is buzzing like the ice squeaks. This orange machine is the ice. This orange machine is buzzing the ice. This orange machine is buzzing the ice. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. The ice squeaks beneath. Breaker box. There's something close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. A hand-cranked ice cream churner and the ice squeaks beneath the pro. This orange machine. Two cables, something.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant. This orange machine is dead. The ice. This orange machine is dead. The ice squeaks. This orange machine is the ice. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice. The ice. Only the red cable is plugged. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. Some of that rubber stuck to the tile and then accelerated straight into the... The driver proceeded to back out of the yard before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez.
You could follow the tracks south.
You are correct. This is a rather motor...
Fuck, does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't...
What do you see?
A crumpled billboard read, "The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open." Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then, the sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The salmon and butter billboard still looks freshly painted. Within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast. There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linéaire. It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, a very sturdy but light motor carriage. The Linéaire G22 is not a particularly popular model. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. We're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? If we...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the... This set of soldiers isn't...
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries. I think that... I don't like...
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. Incrementally, history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying... That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually. Tisk, just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What rationality, what sang-froid. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? Then you've never lived through real chaos. Sometimes, in the face of great disaster, the kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. What you want is immaterial.
If you don't mind, please put the flat...
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical...
I do appreciate it. Hello again. How can I help you? Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop, and then moving on.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
He shakes his head, slowly.
Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
There's a pile of...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort.
Damn, officer!
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.